Hi, everyone. So, thank you for joining me. I have Brielle here, and she is the owner of the Everything Earth Tribe, as well as through that business, Brielle, you do so many things from vegan potlucks to teaching children how to farm and garden organic foods, and vegan cooking workshops, beach cleanups, zero waste workshops, and kits to really help people be more proactive in using less waste and making less of a dangerous footprint on the earth, really helping the earth. So, tell us a little bit more about what inspired you to make these amazing changes in your life and inspire other people, teach them how to be better to the earth.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. It's such an honor. Well, ever since I was a little girl, my father raised me very conscious about the environment. He started the Everglades restoration movement, and he would always take me out there since I was like 5 years old into the wild and really connect a real system and the elements and the animals and not seeing it as fear. So I never really grew up with that dissociation of like, this is me and this is like an alligator. Like I would just go into the Everglades and feel that connection, feel that oneness. And that foundation has always been in me. And then it sparked recently, a couple years ago, when I started learning about, climate change and what's happening to the animals in the factory farms and different things like simple as watching a video on Facebook, as we all see, of animals being tortured or plastic in the ocean. And then I watched Cowspiracy on Netflix, and that really like opened my soul and made me evaluate my whole life. And I had like an ego death, and I just realized, yeah, like it has to change now. So I started just changing my entire life, every decision I make to be more conscious. And that was a beautiful, but you can start to feel alone and you can start to feel overwhelmed because we grow up in this world where everything is conditioned and programmed into us to be a certain way. And it's kind of like break it and come into our heart. It's beautiful, but we need support. So I really wanted to just gather a community. And that's really what Everything Earth Tribe is. It's just me trying to create a community and bring us together so we all feel supported in this healing of each other. So it all started, I just wanted to do a beach cleanup 2 years ago. I'm like, I gotta start doing something. Like, so much is happening and I'm changing it and I'm feeling the pain. I have to accept it and take action, or else you just start to feel like very and worn down if you don't really, transmute the pain you're channeling from Mother Earth. So I just started an event on Facebook, a beach cleanup for Earth Day 2 years ago, and it went beautifully. Wow, this is so fulfilling. So then I started doing a beach cleanup every month for a year. And that was like the only thing I was doing on the Everything Earth Tribe page on Facebook. And it kind of just started putting me out there and just gathering people to join the tribe. And any idea that would be of an event to do, I just would put it up instead of being like, oh, like what if no one comes, or what if this isn't a cool idea? Like those thoughts would pass through me, but then I'm like, you know what? Even if it's just me and one other person, that's making an impact. We all like all of our words and our thoughts and our energies radiate throughout. It's a domino effect. So even if I'm just speaking to one person, it matters. So I'm going to put the event up and just see what happens. And then I started putting up like recycled trash parties, like any weird thing I can think of. So we collect trash from the beach cleanup and try to make art from it. And like 3 girls came, and it was beautiful. And then I did vegan potlucks, and those started becoming really big. Like 30 people come, and I've never even like met any of them before. Just like all these strangers come to a park, and we're all just eating each other's food and trusting each other, and it's all vegan and filled with love. And it's just that like old feeling tribe again that we're all very tribal beings, and that's our nature, is to gather, to be in ceremony, to pray together. And especially now, like everyone's everyone's feeling what's happening to the collective, and it can get really hard. We have to support each other, and that's what really just inspired me to make this page, and it's grown amazingly and so many now, and I do a lot of different events, and all these different organizations and companies and schools contact me and want me to speak, and so humbled by it. But I know it's my purpose to channel this wisdom and this knowledge that we all carry. But I know I'm meant to really speak for the earth and for the animals and for each other. So it's really an honor. So
Well, you're so beautifully spoken. It really is something that, you know, is very inspiring to hear you speak about. You really feel your passion
yes.
and your ability to really put those thoughts and your passions into like a reality, to manifest that to reality is really it's a big deal. It's something that a lot of people have difficulty with, and it's something that you've been able to break through and do and share with the community. So I really do believe that is something that you're here meant to do.
Yeah.
It's been very beautiful to watch as well. So like you said, the beginning, you just started off with beach cleanups and putting them on Facebook and things like that. And did you see that people were becoming more interested the more that you did it? You know, there was only one person at the first one, you said, and then more people were starting to come. But so I guess it would just be a point of people to not lose hope if they don't have some kind of expectation met right away. Would you say so?
Yeah, for sure. Like, just never have expectations and trust. Like, trust in your intention. If your intention is to really make a difference, just put something out there and see who shows up, and that's making a difference. Or just walk outside and see who you can talk to, you know, and that's making a difference. Like, everything around us, we're always attracting, and this reality, we're always co-creating with each other. So nothing's useless, nothing's going to waste. And I think that's like the main perspective that has gotten this company so like well known and so widespread throughout the community and the city. So I've learned to trust and not doubt my ideas, because they just come to me, and then I could be like, to add this event, you know. Like, but it's just a new founded self-love for myself, that now I'm able to channel that love for Earth and for everybody else. But it has to start within myself. If I want to cultivate a community and a tribe, I know it has to be here first. I have to feel like I'm a tribe myself, and that feeling is really important. So in order to make any difference, any change for the planet, like, please just start within loving yourself and trusting who you are, trusting your heart and your intuition, and knowing your voice matters, matters, and your value, and everything you do is valid. You
That
know,
is so true, and it's really nice to hear, you know, to be able to love yourself first before going out and trying to spread yourself thin, or it could end up that you spread yourself thin when you do, you know, try to do certain things and without loving yourself first.
yeah, it's an everyday journey, like self-love.
Yeah.
It comes and goes, it's like an ocean, but I know it's always there. It's just a whole surrendering process with everything in life, but there's a huge healing that has to come over our planet and our consciousness, and really it's just this balance of masculine and masculine and feminine energies, and there's just the system that is dominated, and the energy is now imbalanced and lacking. So that's also like another thing I'm really, really big on in terms of helping the environment, because she's a motherly energy, is tuning into our feminine energy, and just started having goddess gatherings too, to gather the women and empower the women, and the men can come too, because feminine energy is not females, it's within the men too. But it's something we have to tune back into, that nurturing and unconditional love and compassion, and that, like, I like to focus on like the scientific ways to heal the planet. So I do the worm composting workshops and teach about the science of soil and composting, and then in the vegan workshops, I teach about the science of what it does to your temple and your body to eat raw foods and how to combine foods in a balanced way. And those are science, but everything's spiritual in the end. So all of my workshops, all of my talks, no matter where they're at, or if people even want to hear that, just comes out of me, because everything is still spiritual, whether we're acknowledging it or not. We're all spiritual beings. Every moment is made of spirit. So I like to make that foundation to heal the planet and the environment, learn the science, learn the elements, learn what to do and take action. We always have to come back to spirit and work on that. That's the source of why we're in this predicament in the first place. But I just have I don't feel like we're too far gone. I don't feel like it's even that much more we have to do. Like, the collective is rising so fast, and I'm just so excited to be alive right now. Like, we're all doing it together, and I'm so humbled to be somebody, just a vessel to gather, but we're all awakening now. Like, now is the time. This is a revolution happening for the planet. So that's why I just wanted to create a platform where we can all gather in one space and see, like, all right, I'm not alone. Like, we're not too far gone, because it can really seem like that sometimes, but we're not. We're heading in the right direction. We are transcending every day.
I love that. That's beautiful. It really has been such an exciting time to witness, even though it has been difficult to see the negative impacts that have been collecting from, past generations and unawareness. But now to become aware and to see our generation become aware, and our ability now to teach those who are younger than us and to share with those who are older, and to create this community, and to find each other, and to really spread the knowledge and to build something new, which is so exciting. And I definitely agree. We're not too far gone. Sometimes, it's difficult to keep hope, but it's things like this, when we're able to have workshops and to do certain things with our community, it gives us more hope, to be able to see people learning. I'm sure it's so exciting to see kids being able to learn the things that they do and to pick up the things that you're teaching them, to have faith that they will carry that into the future generations, and we can all work on helping the planet better together, no matter what the age is. So that is really cool.
Thank you.
What are some things that you would say that people can do in their everyday lives to really improve the way that they treat the earth?
Okay. Well, I have like 11 pages of information on like everything you can do that I made over like a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on my website, which is www.everythingearth.earth. I didn't get .com, I got .earth.
Awesome.
There's like a plethora of information there, but obviously first is veganism. I mean, I don't even like the word because it's such a label, and it's such a word that can be like taboo to some people. But honestly, that is one thing that an individual can do that is so impactful to every realm of life. Because I can say, get solar energy or get an electric car, but even I don't do that because I don't have the funds yet. I'm still in college, and people will feel hopeless if you just say like renewable energy. That's the number one thing, but it's like, what can the individual do at home in your daily lives? Like, actually, you are saving lives. You're saving animals' lives. You're saving humans' lives. You're saving the planet. And this is something you're doing all day, every day, because we eat all day, every day. So I think veganism is so empowering to the individual. It's so fulfilling. It has really changed my entire life. I feel so much more connected. I feel such a clear space in myself to be able to do all that I'm doing. Like, the meat and the dairy products have blockages, energetic blockages beyond just actually blocking our arteries and all that. And that can really hold you down in life, because that's what it's meant to do. There is a program in everything that's part of the system, and that's why so many people are living blindly. It's not who they are. It's not like we come out of the womb and we're just unconscious. We actually come out pretty enlightened already. And then there's this whole backwards program that we have to undo. But, food is source. Food is our fuel. Food can control our emotions, our thoughts, our energy levels. That's everything. So veganism is just so important. It's so important. And I know some people define themselves by the food they've been eating their whole lives. And it really frustrates to break that mold. But that's why we love to do this. We want to support you. If you want to go vegan, like our workshops, we teach about how to get all your nutrition and a lot of like new different ingredients, new different superfoods. We make a meal, we make a dessert, and it's really fun. We all do it together. And things like that really show people like, wow, it's not hard being vegan. Like this food is amazing. I can still get my nutrition. A lot of people are doing it. But the benefits are just so worth it. Like not only are you gonna become way healthier, way more connected, way more energetic, way more vibrant, and feel fulfilled and feel more in love with yourself, because now you're able to sacrifice all these foods you've been eating your whole life are bigger than you. Like that really makes you love who you are, and then you're able to show up better in reality. It obviously helps climate change because the animals, they're breeding, all the livestock are releasing methane gas, the machinery delivering all releasing carbon dioxide. These are greenhouse gases going into the atmosphere. They're not treating agriculture correctly anymore either because it's mass production. So all the livestock are overgrazing the land, degrading the soil. Now, fertilizers are leaching into our aquatic ecosystems. That's what's causing algae blooms all over the Gulf Coast, things like that, killing our fish. The waste of the animals is polluting our waters. We're using more land to grow grain for our food, grow grain for our animals than actually grow fresh food and fruit and vegetables for us, it doesn't make sense. Like we could provide, poverty is the system. Like the whole world could be provided for. This earth, she's abundant and all the elements are in perfect balance for us. And there is enough land, there is enough resources. We're just not using them correctly because of meat and dairy, because of that whole system. It's literally something so much darker than we can imagine. It's not like, oh, the natives ate meat and did and blessed them up, but that's not what's happening anymore. You really just have to let go of that mold. It doesn't define us. Like it really comes down to knowing what you eat. I think people really define their life and their happiness by certain foods, and that makes them so angry to have to give that up and sacrifice that. But once they know you're so much more than happiness, your comfort, all of that is so much more than that. You find something beyond, way deeper when you eat from the plants that are here to heal you, that love. It's enlightening, it's life-changing. So veganism, you should all really go vegan if you really want to heal the earth. I can keep going. I can talk about living too.
Yeah, I'm sure there's just so much information that you have to offer. And it really does go back to that self-love, like just knowing that you aren't identified by the foods that you eat. And I agree with you so much that so many people, like, we see our parents, maybe other people like that, who will go to these foods and become so unhappy if they can't eat certain things or if that things are taken away. And really, it's that happiness that we learn to find within ourselves when we have to give up certain foods that we've become so attached to. So really releasing that attachment and can bring us closer to ourselves as well. So I think that is a really unexpected bonus that you get when you take away certain like animal products from your diet. I know that veganism was a bit of a struggle for me. So when I started, it was really, really good. And then over time, I just didn't feel as energetic anymore and it wasn't as helpful. So I love that you have, in your workshops, you're offering all the nutrition that people need. And these informational workshops are so important so that people can learn how to do it safely in the right way and continue to feel good. So that's awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to just do it for good for the animals, and then you feel weak and you're deteriorating. It has to be a
Yeah.
balance. And yeah, there's a lot of education to learn before we drastically shift. You know, our bodies are going to be like, what?
Right.
It's definitely a process. I always tell people, take it slow, like don't rush yourself, be easy on yourself, nurture yourself, like don't hate yourself if you have a piece of cheese or meat again. Like
Yeah.
just try, like just make the effort, spread awareness, do the best you can.
Mm.
It's really so important for people who are these environmental activists like myself to just not radiate that judgment. Like when people feel judged, they just want to go back into their shell. They're not going to be able to bloom.
Right.
So I really, every day, my goal is to work harder and harder towards that goal of like non-judgment, and it's really not easy.
It's not.
But that's my goal, and I always want to remind everyone out there who's fighting for the earth, or fighting, just protecting the earth. Don't make people feel judged, because then they don't even want to open themselves up to change, because they don't want to open themselves up at all. Now
Right.
they just want to hide.
Yeah, and they don't, it's difficult to get anybody to receive new ideas of change when they feel badly about themselves. It's hard to face that part of yourself that maybe you're not doing the right thing, or feeling like you're not doing the right thing, or that you're being punished. And so it's hard for people to receive change that way. So I really love that piece of advice. I think that's probably the number one most important thing when you're sharing things with the community and teaching, is to be as open-minded and as less judgmental as possible. That's a really great piece of advice. And so when people, I think that really has to do a lot with why people are so resistant to ideas like climate change, um, and that saying that it is that climate change isn't happening, things like that, because they think that they would have to change their whole lives and they're doing something wrong, and they feel very judged if someone tells them that they need to start recycling, for example, or using less, overall, or eating a different way. So why would you think, I guess, that climate change is such a difficult idea for people to absorb?
Like you said, it's just so much. They just feel it's too much for them to be able to tackle in the first place. So something in their subconscious just shuts it off. Like, as someone might repress something traumatic from their childhood, it's so overloading. And our hearts, our human hearts, they're naturally just empathy and compassion. We all naturally can absorb each other's energy. It's been scientifically proven. We can absorb each other's auras when we hug heart to heart. So that's our natural state. Everyone has that, I believe. So when you hear something about our planet is hurting, there's something deep down in all of us that hurts. And I think just some people, unfortunately, aren't on that level emotionally, spiritually, to be able to cope with that. And it's not even their fault. Just people haven't learned coping mechanisms, healthy coping mechanisms in their life, because of the distractions that are around us in this new age. So it's just something like way too big for them to cope with. So they'd rather just shut it off and keep going on with their lives. But I know there's something down in them still that cares and wants to make a change. It's just all about looking around you and feeling supported and feeling like it's easier than you think. And that's my goal. I just want to gather us, let each other know like it's not that hard. It's only
Yeah.
hard in the beginning, because it's changing your entire life. That's all. Once you feel the fulfillment, and then you get into that flow of consciousness and mindfulness of what you're buying, what you're making, all the cosmetics. Like at first it's like and then once it's a flow. Everything in life's a flow of energy. Then you start to just ride it, and it becomes so smooth, and it just feels like breathing, because it's the truth. So once you start living in alignment, it's not going to feel really hard anymore. And Also, there's things coming up everywhere. Like in Fort Lauderdale, we have a vegan grocery store now in Florida, and there's cafes everywhere, and there's so many companies using compostable packaging, and it's happening now. So it's becoming easier for us. So we must actually just focus on that. Like, wow, it's actually just becoming so much easier, not harder. It's really a lot about mentality, like switching your life to be like fully conscious and sustainable. It's just your mentality. Like you just have to stay strong in it and not look at it as overwhelming, because then it will be. We create how it is. So I just always tell myself, like, it's a natural process. I'm remembering the truth. It can't be that hard. I'm just going back to what it is, going back into who I already am. Already there.
That's awesome. I really love that because like when you hear it like that, you know, you're just going back to the truth or you're going back to what is already there. You know, it makes it feel a lot less intimidating than, yeah, you're just coming up with this thing on your own and you have to start from scratch and you're building something from the ground up. Sometimes, you know, thinking of it that way, you're just reconnecting, makes it a lot less intimidating. And that's very cool. I do agree that it was very difficult at first when you're trying to change, you know, your habits and these things that have been programmed in you and that you believed in at one point, and then having to make new decisions and make new habits and kind of get rid of the old and start the new. And those beginnings are always so difficult. And then, you know, once we take those small steps, it gets a little bit easier every time. And there's small setbacks, and that's totally normal and like anticipated. And then you just keep going. Once you're in that flow, like you said, it's like breathing. You just start doing what feels right, and when you feel like you're making a difference, it definitely gives you that momentum. You just have to take the leap and take that first step.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Know like where you're coming from will lead you.
Yeah.
Life is so unpredictable, so we can't attach to any result, and we can't expect anything really from ourselves, and we can't be hard on ourselves, and we don't go exactly in the exact direction we want to go. But just know wherever it's coming from, the roots, the foundation that sets, you know, it sets the tone. So if you're coming from a beautiful intention of love and healing the earth and healing yourself, like it will manifest. But we don't know how long. We don't know all that. That's up to something bigger than us. It's just trusting and knowing where you're coming from.
Right.
Heart.
And also, I think, you know, it's funny, I didn't expect this theme to run throughout the meeting, but the self-love, you know, self-love has really been throughout this entire theme. When you're making changes and you know, changing your life and your habits, it's really important to have that self-love, be gentle with yourself, and to expect mistakes, and when you do have mistakes, to do the best that you can to not be so down or hard on yourself. And I know that was something that I had to learn a lot along the way, because I can tend to be hard on myself. And I think we all have struggled with that a little bit. And when you come to it, you know, it's all about practicing that love for yourself makes a lot of those things easier. So that's actually pretty cool that it ended up being a theme. So you've just been so inspirational and giving us so much information here. And is there anything else that I guess you would like to share as far as you know, your statement, your mission for people and what people can do in their lives? Kind of your closing statement, I guess.
Well, I can really quick talk about the new zero waste kits I'm doing.
Yes, I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so after veganism and also renewable energy, I would say like the biggest thing we also have to do is cut back on our plastic and our waste production. I mean, these are materials coming from fossil fuels essentially as well. So we are causing not only pollution of our environment through the plastic products that don't biodegrade and that leach toxins, also where they're coming from is from underground, and they're creating carbon and methane and all those greenhouse gas emissions. So plastic is just very, very destructive. So we're just working hard to spread awareness on how to really cut back on consumption, because that's not easy either. It's like, wow, you got to give up meat, get now plastic. So it's really overwhelming, but we just have to stay educated and stay strong in our path. We're now selling zero waste kits at the zero waste workshops we do. But how we do it is we just have a table of all these items you use per day in your daily lives that are sustainable items, reusable, that you can replace plastic products with, and then you build your own kit. So it's personal to you. It's something you'd use. And we're still trying to figure out online for people to buy, like personalize and build your own. But that's what we're doing now, and a little something for you to learn about zero waste. I'll just go through some of the items. So we have like reusable food wrap. I know you've probably been seeing that online. Yeah, we just bought some of that. I have some in my house now. I got a vegan one because a lot of them are made with beeswax, but instead of wrapping with plastic wrap or putting in plastic bags, it's like all natural tree resin and plant oils, and you just wrap your food in it. Like if you only eat half an avocado, we wrap it and put it in the fridge, and it keeps it fine, and you just rinse it with water, and that's an amazing product. Like stainless steel or glass straws to have with you instead of taking plastic straws. Definitely always have a canteen, reusable grocery bags. Shopping in bulk is really important. Places like Whole Foods and Lucky's Market, and maybe different farmers markets around your area will have a bulk section where you can like choose your amount. And oh, it's right here. I just washed it, so it's really wrinkly. It's like an organic hemp bulk bag.
Awesome.
Take it to the store, and you just get this teared at the cashier. They'll write down the weight. So after you fill it with your grains, you can fill it with candy, or there's so many things in bulk. We get nutritional yeast, nuts, then they take off the amount of the bag, and it's a sustainable product. And then we have like bamboo toothbrushes. I sell homemade toothpaste because that's another thing, like making your own products. Making your own toothpaste is so simple rather than buying it in a plastic tube, and you know it's all natural, you know exactly what's in it, you know it's blessed with love. So making your own products is really important. We have so many items in there, but yeah, that's just a few of them. So look up Zero Waste Lifestyle. There's so much information online about it. Look up Everything Earth Tribe. We teach about it, and that's a fun journey too. That's definitely been a lot harder for me than veganism, but it's really exciting. It makes you like have to really tune into yourself and be more conscious and mindful, and that's always beautiful. Like just really practicing something new and challenging yourself. It really shows you what you're capable of, because we're all limitless.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I've been really having fun with that.
That's really awesome. I'm glad that you're sharing about that, because it is something that is difficult to do with such a high plastic consuming culture that we live in. Everything is just quick, easy, convenient, plastic, throw it away. And then we've just seen such backlash now with how much waste we are producing. And so much so that they're saying that recycling is not going to be enough anymore, and that we really have to look to alternatives like not using as much and cutting back and using these sustainable items like your glass canteens and your bamboo toothbrushes and DIY like shampoos and toothpaste and stuff like that. So that's really awesome that you're making it easily accessible to people to use. And these are some great tips that I think people can incorporate in their everyday, you know, getting these products and just replacing them. And that's where a lot of your positive impact can start, just replacing those items that you would normally throw away with these reusable items. We really are capable of so much more than we think that we are. So to have these options.
Just got to start, and it's a process and it's a practice that'll go on forever.
It's true. Yeah. Always learning, always growing. It makes it super exciting.
It's so humbling. Every day I learn something more, and it's like, wow, how much more can I learn? But
yeah,
just have to always stay open and remain like a child through it all. Like sometimes it can get really serious trying to like save the world.
right.
remain like a child, because in the end, we're still just here to enjoy life and play and travel and
That's
do,
true.
and but definitely just do the best you can for the earth, because she deserves it and she's you. So
Hmm.
we love you. We love Earth. So that is the source.
That's right. And I know that some people say, you know, why is it so important to help the earth if we are going to only be here for a short amount of time? And I know that's like a huge question to open up, but I mean, do you have any light to shed on that? Someone who is saying that it's not worth to help the earth if they were only here for a short period of time.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big.
Non-judgment. Because those come to me a lot. Like the universe throws these people at me.
Right.
And I just really learned to hold space, because it's really just a lack of love within them that they're searching for. So all we can ever do is give love. That's all we can ever do. Yeah, someone at work the other day, like I was trying to recycle, like I collect the recycling because no one recycles there.
Right.
And she like purposely like threw it in the garbage in front of me, get it. And she's like, "You're getting that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna take it home and try to recycle it. I do like the best I can." And she's like, "I'm not gonna be here." Like she said something like that. Like, why do
Oh
I
my God.
be here in 100 years? I don't want to recycle.
Right.
It's like, she has a child. So even if you have a child or not, we're gonna have future generations coming after us, and that was once us. Like we're the generations now. People had to care about us, and they didn't really. Like unfortunately, the generations before us didn't really think about us, and now it's our time to bring it back, and our time to be earth warriors and the earth guardians, and it's an honor. But yeah, like we don't want to keep that cycle going. We don't want to make our children or our grandchildren have to suffer. Like this life is such a gift. Like earth is such a paradise. We're placed here like because we're loved by something. I mean, everything is perfect balance if we didn't touch it and mess it up. Everything, all of nature, fruits just grow, our bodies work amazingly and just cycle everything, and we're strong, and we're divinely designed, as I like to say, if we just don't mess it all up and do our human thing. So no one deserves to suffer because of our choices, and it's
Right.
tapping into that compassion. And also all the creatures, all the other animals, all the other insects and plants and everything deserves to live life abundantly and happily and in peace too. Like they're our brothers and sisters too. So just seeing everything as one, and all the future, all the past, all of it as one, like nothing's separate, and just channeling compassion for all of that. Like nothing deserves to not be able to live life abundantly and in peace. So I hope we can really offer that to our children and
I
all
love
the
that. I think that's so important. It comes from, I guess, the feeling of being intimidated or not knowing or feeling that pain, just rather saying that I don't need to deal with it, I'm not going to be here, makes it feel a little bit better for some of the people who have difficulty really tapping into that pain and understanding it and then transforming it into action and compassion.
yeah. That's
So,
great.
that was really awesome, Brielle. Thank you so much for spending time with me and for taking your energy and your time to share all of the amazing things that people can do to really be proactive in helping the earth. And but really, I don't know. It seems that they can transform their own lives, and these transformations, these changes, help themselves too. So really sharing this
Yeah.
wisdom and this information on how people can really live a higher quality life and really be with their truth, in alignment with their truth. It's very
Mhm.
beautiful wisdom to be sharing. So if anyone really wants to learn more, and I think it's very worth looking into everythingearthtribe.earth. It is, right? Your website?
On Facebook and Instagram, we're Everything Earth Tribe. So it's just Everything Earth Tribe. And then there you can find all the events and like different posts and information and message me. And then the website, which we're still working on, is everythingearth.earth.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that has the tons of information that I created on a tab of what you can do. And we're also going to sell our zero waste kits soon and get our events up there and get a newsletter up there. Right now, we are selling our organic fair trade coffee. So we're like a private label of a bigger distributor. They established like all these villages in Africa and Asia, and they established the coffee plantations there to bring in money for the create an economy in these villages and give them service. And it's all organic, and they don't harm the rainforest for coffee, because rainforest deforestation, like one of the number one causes is because of coffee and like palm oil and things like that. But coffee's a huge thing, so we're like, oh, we gotta sell good coffee, and we don't grow it, but we're helping the distributor through our website. And yeah,
That's
so it's
awesome.
coffee if you drink coffee. I don't, because
Yeah. No, I know that a lot of people do drink coffee though, and to have a sustainable source to get it from is just really important too. So
it's
that's
a
awesome.
full bag.
Really?
That's the best part.
That's awesome.
That's like, yes, like cherry to the vegan cake.
I love that so much.
You
So,
can check us out over there.
yeah, everyone, check out Brielle on her Instagram and her Facebook, Everything Earth Tribe, and reach out to either her or me if you have any questions of sustainability, how to be more sustainable in your life, more compassionate towards the earth, and any questions about veganism and zero waste. We're more than happy to help. So
Come.
thank you all. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, guys.
Thank you. Blessings. Namaste.
Awesome.